Okay, how was the cardio?
You know, it's weird. Like I've said before, doesn't matter how long it seems that I don't do it for. Uh, I never lose my wind. So it's turn on some light here. Kind of dark in here. Um, yeah, I'm just chilling. I'm just thinking about other things while I do it. Listening to a good song. You know
What
how it
type
is.
what type of cardio are you doing?
I do.
Steady state?
Yeah, steady stay. I don't do nothing crazy. Because there's no reason to kill yourself. If you just do a steady state. A bit of some breathing, heavy breathing, somewhat. Um, I think that's plenty. So,
Like
uh,
walking or running? Jogging?
not definitely not. Oh, you asking if I walk or jog?
I'm assuming you were talking about a treadmill, but maybe you're using something else.
I'll do um like a walk at the end of the night with my wife. But that's like a fast paced walk.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just stairs for cardio, and then I've been working out like faster pace. Doing drop sets and supersets and whatnot.
I remember back when I was fighting, when I was doing the full contact karate. After work, I was in. I lived in Brooklyn, New York, then. I was back in Brooklyn. I worked in Manhattan. So after work, my dojo was in Manhattan also. But by the time I got down there, it was plenty early, but a lot of time before class started. So I would do my cardio. I would get in my running gear, do 45 minutes in the streets in Lower Manhattan, run through Lower Manhattan and Chinatown, and then when I got back to the dojo, there was two long flights of steps going up. So after I got back from 45 minutes of running out in the streets, I was doing like a half an hour up
Shit.
and down the stairs. Nobody matched my endurance back then. But I think my joints, my ankles, my knees, even my back took a lot of wear and tear from uh, that kind of training.
Yeah, that's
It
kind of
is,
like I like when I do stairs, dude. People say stand up the whole way, don't lean on the stairwell thing,
yeah.
but like I'll go between like standing and leaning on it, but like I lean on it to be easy on my knees, because they're already taking a beating from leg days, and not that I'm training wrong. It's just how it is when you're at your optimal levels of everything.
Yeah.
Your knees are gonna feel it, you know. So yeah, I don't kill myself when it comes to the cardio. I just do a nice steady state, semi breathing hard kind of thing, and that's it.
We missed our podcast last week. Fritz's son had a soccer game, but the final score was a little odd, to say the least. Tell us what was going on.
Well, we're watching the game, and you know it's like 7-0. They finally score one, and then we score another one, and then I noticed the scoreboard didn't change, and I was like, huh. I was like, did it not go in the net? I was like, I thought I saw the net move, and we're sitting there watching, and then they score another one, and like I like look around at the parents. I'm like, did they just scored, right? And they're like, yeah, but they won. Like, oh, okay, so what? They just stopped taking score to make the other team feel better, and like something like that. I was like, oh,
Uh,
okay.
you know what? It sounds crazy, but it's been going on. It's not that unusual now. That's happening in a lot of the school sports with the younger kids. How old's your son?
He's 9.5.
I you know I don't know, but to me, losing is part of learning. Losing builds character, and this everybody gets a trophy thing. You know what? You lose. Your parents are okay. You did your best. You tried harder, and now you figure out what you got to do to try to do better, and it helps build character. But this, well, we're gonna stop scoring the points because we don't want to upset the other team. Is absolutely ridiculous. I think that's why they're bringing up a generation of really weak kids these days, for the most part.
Yeah, when I was growing up, they still kept score. There was teams that won and lost, of course, and I went to the All Stars every year for baseball, and up through the time I played, they kept score. They never did that other, keep that bullshit we were just talking about. So, yeah.
Sports can teach you a lot of things in life, and you lose a lot in life, and you come back and you rebound and you figure out how to do better and not to lose, and that all starts developing at a young age. And when you're in sports, it helps the winning losing aspect. It helps teach you that. I don't know what's going on.
Like not placing well at a bodybuilding show. I mean, let's see, they didn't hand out. No, they didn't hand. No. They didn't hand out participation trophies all the time. I think sometimes they did. I can't remember.
Well,
Maybe
when I first started competing, I think it was the first couple of years. No, the last couple of years, we started getting. Everyone got a participation medal. Well, basically, I don't know. You can look at it two different ways. It shows that you took part in this event because it had the name of the show you were doing on it. It didn't say you uh, declare you a winner of any sort. Just acknowledge that you were part of the show. But we had our first, second, but they gave out trophies first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Uh, but we started doing the participation medals like the second year I was competing.
It's coming back to me now that you say that because I laughed in my head. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I placed top 3, at least top 5 almost every show I ever did. So I never like got one, except there was one show I did after my car wreck, and I should not have done that show. And I did not place top 5, and I did not keep that medal they gave me, and then I did not keep the medal at the Olympia either.
Well, the difference was though, when they started giving out the participation medals, everybody that competed. So it wasn't like just the people that didn't place the top 5 got participation medals. It was like everybody got one. So that's why I kind of looked at it like, well, it's acknowledging that we uh, partook in this competition because it wasn't just the people who didn't place. Even the top 5, the ones who got trophies, everyone got the participation medal. It is what it is. Did you hear about what was the latest was going on with Greg Doucette and his testosterone scandal?
Last I knew, he was, he had an excuse as to why it wasn't pure or the ratios he said it was, and because basically he was just passing the blame off to his supplier.
Well, for people who don't know, testosterone is basically a plant steroid. That's all it is.
Oh.
That stuff came that kind of stuff started surfacing back in the 90s. We started seeing, I don't know if we were, how old were you back then? In the mid to late 90s.
Mid to late 90s, I was, about 15, 14.
Right. I started seeing those kind of products back then. And also I'm trying to get the pronunciation right, ecdysterones. They're insect steroids, insect sterols.
Yeah.
Those two types of products actually started coming out back then, and that's basically what uh, testosterone is one. It's a plant steroid, but he's pushing this product, and things we consume have labels on it, has ingredients on it for a few reasons. One thing could possibly be safety. Uh, you want to know if you're allergic to something, you want to know what's in a product. You're supposed to know what's in something you're consuming.
Absolutely.
And he's selling this product and he's pushing it as uh, helping muscle gains, this and that, and seems as though the product was tested and there was some, but the amount of testosterone in it was insignificant.
Not to go on too far of a tangent, but it just reminded me of something. You ever hear of raw orchic?
It sounds familiar.
It's like it's a glandular supplement where they get the
What was it
balls.
supposed to do for? What was it supposed to help with?
Testosterone. It was
Okay.
glandular supplements are like kind of like a whole different way of getting a nutrient or getting shit into your body, and they even have like the pituitary gland of the cow. The bovine is usually the source. I hear there's a couple other sources out there, but that's where you can take liver tablets and whatnot.
Well, what you get? They used to get. Where did they used to get the GH from?
Was that dead bodies?
Cadavers.
Yeah.
Cadavers. So yeah. So there's virtually none of this product in there. First thing, what do you think about this? You're selling a product. Uh, that's a whole nother topic also, whether it's his company or somebody else's. Let's get to the label now. You're pushing a product, and it's touted to have this ingredient as the main ingredient that's going to work its magic, and ingredients in it is virtually non-existent. What do you think? What do you think about this?
I think that's some bullshit. You know, supplement companies already are kind of hard to trust. You hear about a lot of companies getting busted, like Muscle Tech. Remember, like probably like 8 to 10 years ago, they got busted for having chickpea powder in their whey protein.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scandals out there. So yeah, it kind of sucks that he didn't really care about what he was doing. He's using his reputation as a means of credibility.
Now, did you hear his excuse me, his response to it? His response video? Did you hear what he was saying?
Yeah, I watched it. I just remember thinking like he's really good at dancing around the whole subject and just kind of shifting blame elsewhere.
Well, what happened was he was. I mentioned the ecdysterones, the insect steroids. There's in the product, the testing showed that there was uh, numerous times the recommended dosage for that uh, substance. So that must be doing the work because it's in such high dosage. This other compound. So even though there's very little testosterone in there, and a product is named after it, it's okay because the other product in there, which is in a really high dosage, is working, so you're getting results. I'm like, I'm listening to this, I'm saying, are you for fucking real? I can't believe he's actually justifying it the way he's justifying it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that in the video. I was like, like I said, he's dancing around and the whole subject of it not being what it states it is. So it's funny how people rationalize something to their benefit or to win their argument. You know.
And he got a big, he took off from, he was like wallowing for a while in YouTube. Then he took on that Gilbert Gottfried delivery, and his channel just, it skyrocketed. It went from tens of thousands to over a million. I think 1.5 million subscribers now, in must be record time. I think it happened in less than a year's time. He has a tremendous following, so I'm sure he can. If he's promoting the product, a lot of these people are going to be trying it because he's pushing it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean by it's kind of he's using his reputation as an unfair advantage there when he's pushing something not legit.
Now this company is HTLT. That's the name of the company. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't 100% sure whether it's the company that approached him because he has all this big following and said, "Hey, you push our product, you promote our product, and we're going to pay you, and we're going to provide you with all the supplements, and you're going to make money, and all you got to do is push our product." And at first I was under the assumption that that's the way it transpired, and he's just selling the product for him. He's not actually behind the scenes. But when I Googled it, from what I'm getting Googling, it is actually his company. And if it is his company, if you own a company like that and you don't know what the fuck is in your products.
Yeah. What kind of CEO are you?
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm just selling the stuff, you know. I think it is what it is, but who knows? But hey, it works.
I think all that stuff is all bogus shit.
Yep.
It's your choice to buy it. They can tell you anything. They can tell you drinking catfish is going to make your muscles grow. It's up to you to make a decision to use it. But you can put on a label that this, and this at this dose. I mean, there's allowances. A little under, a little over. I'm not sure what the variable is, but when you're dosing something, when you're labeling something, there's an allowance for a little bit of a difference either way.
Not much.
Not much, but not much. But for the most part, you're supposed to have what your label says you have, pretty much in the dosage it says it has. And that's where the problem, the people buying it, you're buying it. You're being told that this thing works like this manner, and it's to do this for you. It's on you. But
Imagine if someone was allergic to caffeine or something like that, and someone had a fuck ton of caffeine in a product and didn't tell
yeah,
you.
yeah. I mean, that's a serious thing. That's a potentially very serious thing. That it could be life and death.
Do you remember when Lee Priest told people to jack off, come in their hand, and rub it on their skin so they can reabsorb their own test?
I heard him. I heard him joking around, saying something like that. Yeah. Oh.
I think he claimed that he had a whole lot of people doing it, and I guess people would message him back saying, "Hey, look, I'm doing it," and this and that, and it reminds me of there's this YouTube video out there, and it's recent. It's this like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this pretty boy looking fuck who works out. He's like cut, but he's small, and he thinks he's all about it, right? Thinks he's like it, and he makes a video where he's serious about this. He says the highest concentration of testosterone is in your own jizz. And he's like, if you jack off, he's like, save it and drink it. And then this guy, his gym buddy, shit you not, bro, he's interviewing, he's sitting right next to him. He's like, yeah, he's like, this is so-and-so right here. He's like, he donates his magical blah, blah, blah to me so I can get my gains. And like, I'm watching this video, and is this guy fucking serious? He was serious. He was dead serious. And then, actually, we were just talking about him, Greg Duchette. He fucking made a video about it, making fun of these guys, because he's like, you guys are fucking idiots. You can't ingest, even if you had a vial of testosterone and you fucking ingested it, you're not going to absorb it that way. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And eating someone else's, and so he explained how all that worked and how like these guys are fucking idiots. He's like, basically, you're drinking your buddy's sperm, for no reason at all. And the guy made like a response video where like he, knew he was wrong. He tried to stick to his point and said, I don't care what you say, and it's working and this and that. And it was by far one of the funniest things I had ever seen that is supplement related,
Like I said, I'm not sure whether it's his company or not. I was like, the reason why I was under the impression that it wasn't his company. I heard that some of the cars that you've seen him with, sometimes he's filming in some really nice locations. He's on vacation here, on vacation there. And I was hearing that it was this company that was just doing all this for him. And in return, all he does is promote their product, push their product. So either way.
He wouldn't be the first guy to do something like that.
I mean, okay, let's say he's totally innocent in the regards that it's not his company, somebody else is doing it. But once this comes out, I mean, his way of handling it, his response to it, was really mishandled or handled very poorly, to say the least.
Right.
I'm not sure. This could potentially hurt him on his channel as a YouTuber. People seeing him, people that start seeing him. There were a few guys that shot up to the top with the YouTube in regards to their channel, and then they got a little too big for themselves. They made some mistakes along the way, and people lost interest in them. One of them, Louis Marco, remember him?
Yep.
Yeah, he was really big.
Yeah, I
He
think
had those.
I still
He had
follow
his
him.
he had his catchphrases, and he was getting all those freaking. He had all those subscribers and all those views. He was big way before Nick's Strength and Power grew, and he started getting real. I never liked him too much anyway, but that's besides the point. But he started getting really, really full of himself, and I think he just blew himself right out of the water, and the channels just started to fizzle, and this I don't know, this something like this, and everybody's attacking him over it. I'm not necessarily attacking him, but hey, you should be on top of this shit. If it's your company, you should know what's going in your product. And if it's not your company, this stuff was brought to your attention, you should be handling it in a much different manner.
He should have owned it. He should have owned it and be like, you know what, this went under my nose. I didn't realize it. Even if he did, at least own it and fucking say, I'm correcting the problem right now. Here's a 40% discount coupon for X amount of time.
Now, the guy, the Derek from More Plates, More Dates. He was
Yeah,
involved in
yeah.
the Kester, but he like you said, he owned it. He owned it, and I forget exactly what he was, how he approached it, but it was a much different manner. And as far as I know, that he immediately discontinued. I believe it was actually his company. Uh, he immediately, and it could be the same. These his product and Duchat's product could be coming from the same place. Ultimately, could be
Well, you know
formulated.
what? So when I was with Strike First Nutrition, and my buddy Alex now, dude, he's clearing millions and millions of dollars now. He's up there with everything. But he told me back then that all supplement companies get all of their stuff from, at the most, 3 different sources,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's at the most.
yeah.
So basically, the sources they all go to, they have their formulation put together. They got their patent, whatever. They got their packaging, and they put in large orders with these places, and they put together the combos of ingredients that they want for
Yeah.
their products. That's
So,
just
I mean, their products could very likely be coming out of the same place. But like I said, as far as I know, it was his company with Derek, and he immediately pulled the product. I'm not sure what's going on now with him, but he was at the very least proactive with it and dealing with it.
yeah. I mean, you should be if you own a supplement company. That's how my friend was, man. He believed in top quality everything. He had like two quality checks by an outside source and within his own company. And again, he had no reason to skimp people. He prided himself in having quality shit.
He said
And
he went to the people who made the product, and they told him it's fine. That's no way to check up on a product.
no, not at all.
You send it to another source, and have it tested independently like that.
He
He said,
showed.
listen, we sent it over here to have it tested. You're telling me this is the ingredient profile. They're telling me this is the ingredient profile. You don't go to the person who is supplying you with it. And is this the real deal? Is this good? Is this what you're telling me it is? That's not the way to deal with it.
You know who else I highly trust is Dave Palumbo. You know, for a fact, he prides himself in quality supplements that work. It's he uses his name and his reputation, like he says in his videos, that what he's selling is legit
Yeah.
and that it works. And it's not a lot of brands out there I trust. But
No.
his I do.
Yeah. it's like I said, someone like that who's been in the game for a really long time and has the reputation he has. It's less likely they're gonna run something by you because ultimately it can ruin them in the long run. They're not gonna.
Mhm.
They have a reputation to uphold.
Once you lose credibility in some sort of way, it's really hard to gain it back with people. I
Yeah.
think I'm one of those people. Like if someone crosses me once, I don't forget about that. Now we move on. He crossed me again, and that's almost it. It's like three
I,
strikes. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to like put myself in other people's shoes, be empathetic. So usually by strike three with something that's like a no, then I just X people from my circle.
I asked you if you heard about what happened in Brazil with the classic physique. Did,
Yeah,
did you look into it at all?
yeah. I watched the video. Dave Palumbo covered it. Uh,
Yeah, it's kind of
yeah.
kind of interesting.
So what? How did they? So did they? How did they find out afterwards? Did they? If they
But
weighed him afterwards, that wouldn't count because he could have carved up.
no, what happened is it's Horse MD. That's his social media moniker, Horse MD. Uh, Marcellus, Marcelo DeAngelis, something like that. I'm sorry, don't take no offense. Uh, he's from Brazil. He now, I don't know which video you watched with Dave, but he turned pro as open bodybuilder. He decided to go the classic route, but he was a certain he would be a certain height, so you have to make a certain weight. Now he was going to, I believe it was chiropractor or some other practitioner. I think it was a chiropractor, and getting these things done to him to stretch him out and stretch out his spine and everything. And he was preparing with the intention of moving up in height class, not moving up. It's not like you're competing in a weight class and you're going to the next, you're a middleweight, you're going into a light heavyweight. He's gonna move up in height class.
Okay.
That, that's where it all starts. So that's a problem in and of itself. Uh, but you have incidents where these guys go to one show and they're measured at one height, and then another show and they're measured slightly different. You get your pro card, you're measured, it goes on your pro card, and that's your height. You shouldn't have to worry about what's going to happen. And it's been an issue in a few shows where a guy's weighs a quarter of an inch difference in one show to the next. There's fault whoever's measuring it. Somebody's making a mistake somewhere along the line. So you have one time you measure their height, and that's the height. So that's where it started. So he thinks that he can go in. I'm not sure what the difference, what the cap-off difference was for the height difference, but he was under the impression that he can go in a number of pounds heavier. So he gets on the scale and they call out. I got a funny story to relate to this. They call out one weight, and somebody else over there is watching, is actually filming with his phone and sees a different weight and has a different weight captured on the film. And it was brought to the attention of them right away. Hey, no, that's not his weight. He's too heavy. And in pounds, I think it came out to about 6 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
now people saying, why didn't he do step into the open? Was he competed? He earned this pro card as an open bodybuilder. So what I heard was that at that point now, to try and save face, they just completely disqualified him from the show.
Yeah.
To try and save face, because there was some fugazi shit going on somewhere. But that's a big difference, 6 pounds.
Yeah. It sure is, man. I'm gonna make sure I make weight for this show that I'm doing, and I even want to make weight before I water cut, but I might not be left with much of a choice. I'm down to 194 today.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got about 9 pounds.
I said I had a story to relate to that. Back when I used to compete in the full contact karate, we used to weigh in the day when we got to the competition. We would weigh in the morning. We didn't start competing until they had all the other stuff going on early. We didn't do our competition until after 6, but we weigh in the morning. So now you got time to eat and carb up, get your energy back, and you go out and you're strong, full of energy when you're ready to fight. One year we were doing the show in a different location also. They decided they're going to do, for the people, we had a lot of competitors coming from other countries. So to make it convenient for some people, they were to have, if you were available to go to the dojo. Now, my instructor is the head of the whole worldwide organization. I got to the dojo, we would weigh in on Saturday early afternoon, and the competition wasn't until Sunday. So, all right, I live here. I practically live in a fucking dojo. So I weigh in. I just make the weight. I go out. I had 2 nice meals that day. Got up the next morning. I had breakfast. I had a nice, good filling breakfast. Got on a train to go up to the Westchester County Civic Center. Before I got on the train, got myself a McDonald's big breakfast. So I'm feeling good. I got all my energy back, and I don't know what I weighed, but I wasn't making the weight. But I weighed in. I get to the competition, and the club was telling me, "Come on, you got to weigh in." I go, what are you talking about? I weighed in Saturday. He goes, no. Some of the senseis are making a big issue over it, that they weren't there when people were getting weighed in. You have to weigh in again. I go, I can't fucking weigh in. I'm not going to make the weight. I had 2 meals yesterday. I had 2 breakfasts today. I'm going to be at least 5 pounds over, if not more. Like, oh shit. So grab my instructor and tell him what's going on. We get up there. We're in the room. I stripped out to my freaking underwear. I was almost ready to take off my freaking underwear off. I jump on the scale. I forget what I think the cutoff was like 155, but for the lightweight to the middleweight. I jumped on a scale. I wasn't on a scale a split second, and he goes 155, and he pushes me off the scale. But he's the head of the whole organization, so nobody's gonna question him at that point. But I mean, that was like, it wasn't that I was intending to come in bigger. I weighed in. We don't weigh what we weigh in at anyway, because we usually weigh in the morning of the show, the morning of the competition, and then we fight later on. So we are usually a little bit over. But I was probably a lot over. I have no idea what it was. It was like pushing me off the scale so fucking fast.
Yeah, dude, I'm usually like 3 to 4 pounds heavier by the end of the day.
So now, so they end up disqualifying this guy altogether. So the promoters are trying to save face, but it makes you wonder how much of this shit is going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it happens to some degree, but I don't know. I have more faith in the NPC. I feel like they're a little more on top of their shit.
Well, this is the IFBB though. This is the IFBB.
Mm.
It was an IFBB show. It was an Olympia qualifier. So I don't know. Tamer El Gundy, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was the promoter of the show, and he was the one that was involved with this. And he's involved with quite a few productions, and he's also part of the Olympia production. Tamer Al Gundy, I think it is, and he's also part of the Olympia production. So, you know, it makes you wonder what's how much of this is going on.
Yeah,
Is it an isolated incident, or is it happening and we're not picking up on it?
I don't know. I could just say I hope people do that, fill that role with integrity. Whoever's taking weight.
Well, do you know the procedure? Is everybody weighing in at the same time at the same location?
I mean, we never weighed in at the for the naturals. It was just by height. So I'm doing NPC for the first time. So yeah, it's my first time weighing in and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like I said, 6 pounds. That's 6 pounds of muscle on the body. Might not sound like a lot to the layperson, but it's significant. It can
Well,
make a big difference.
it's like in a swimming race, a second ahead of somebody's light years.
A quarter of a second
Yeah.
is a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, people don't realize how much of a difference 6 pounds of muscle can give to the appearance and the appearance of the physique.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
don't know. So, how's all the training coming along?
Oh, it's going really well. Training really hard. You know, strength is still really up there. You know, I benched 315 for 22 reps, and that was my best ever, actually, even having weighed 225 pounds with an extra layer of fat or two. But just doing drop sets and supersets. And seems like every few days I notice, like today I was looking at the skin on my thighs. I was like moving it with my fingers, and I can see like all these muscle fibers and divots and all this shit going on right there under the skin. So I know like I'm really close to just transforming. We're talking a matter of 5 pounds, and I'm just on my way. So
Just curious. Have you tried uh, using a creatine again?
not yet, no.
I was just curious. So what approach you going to use with the creatine this time?
I'll just do what you recommended.
Yeah.
Have it in a warm liquid of some sort and do about 20 to 30 grams a day.
Yeah, just do it constantly. Let me tell you something. Maybe I was some people are hyper responders. Maybe I just responded very well, but I'll tell you when I first started using creatine back when. After a couple of months, my father came up to me and said to me, "Are you using steroids?" I said, "No, Dad, not at all. No, I'm using." I try to explain to him what it was. I I might have gotten initially better results than the average person. Maybe I was a better responder, but for the most part, almost everybody I know, everybody that I can't think of anybody that I know that used it that didn't get results in some form or another from it. See what happens when you try that protocol.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
won't know until you try.
I'm optimistic, after hearing your spiel about it. So it's been years since I've taken any. So
Yeah, like I
um,
said, Bill Phillips himself, way back when, even said that uh, he personally recommended that people take consistently 20 grams a day minimum. So his product, the label of his product said differently. And I assume that part of that with the labeling has to do with legal issues and safety issues.
always.
So that, I would assume that a lot of times the suggested dose would be a little underdosed than what might actually be used in the research on a product simply for potential legal reasons.
Yep. Yeah, they always put a huge warning label on everything, even though those things probably won't happen to you.
Did you catch the last After Hours? They
I
had
don't know.
that Richard. They had the Richard Rodriguez, the guy with that was involved with the iron addicts, the online steroid selling.
Yeah, I did watch that.
You hear what he was saying about Mike Rashid?
He mentioned his name, but I don't remember what he said about him.
Yeah. He wasn't too kind about him. Guess he was one of them that one of the people that threw him under the bus. But according to him, uh, he he was supplying him with uh, provided with a condo, all those fancy cars that you saw him driving, all this Richard Rodriguez doing uh, unlimited unlimited prostitutes. He made some claims about him with some underage women. Made him out to be not such a nice person. And this guy
Not
got
surprising anymore.
yeah, he got a major following. Uh, the picture he painted wasn't too pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like more times than not these days, people end up being scumbags.
Yeah, he said he went to him to use him. He said he was willing to pay him uh, that kind of money, provide him with what he was providing with, because when he did this iron addicts thing, when he wanted to uh, push the gym and everything, because of Mike Rashid's following, which is very big, and well, this guy Rich Rodriguez is a very savvy business guy. This guy,
Sounded like it.
he could have made millions of dollars doing it the legal way. So he was willing to provide him with all these things because in turn his following, the turnover was so profitable that it was worth it. But he basically said that everything you saw around Mike Machine was, for the most part, an illusion, really, because it was provided to him by this Richard Rodriguez.
Yeah, well, What's that mean for Rashid?
I don't know. I mean, this a lot. He has a big following, and he's been strong for a while. He's this could I think it could definitely affect his following. This guy Rich comes across as pretty credible, even though he's involved with illegal activity. What he's saying is coming across as very credible. Like Greg Doucette, you're out there, you're scamming the people. If it comes out that you're scamming in one form or another, and it's believable, it's going to have an impact on you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know about other people, man, but I pride myself in acting with integrity and doing the right thing. I don't like. I always make sure like self-preservation's a thing. Of course, we all gotta make sure we survive in any scenario. But I'm not greedy about stuff, and I make sure like things are right. I don't understand why more people don't have a sense of pride in doing things like that. Uh, it's just a shame, really.
I don't know. I got a feeling though these guys are going to feel the impact. You know what I found interesting also? He's involved with Mark Lobliner. You know who Mark Lobliner is, right?
No.
Tiger Fitness.
Oh yeah. Boom.
Yeah. They're partners in this company Ambrosia. It's a line of supplements. And I find it interesting when Mark Lobliner talks about Mike Rashid. He puts him on such a pedestal. And from this other guy, Richard Rodriguez, we're hearing such uh, an opposing point of view.
Sounds like they're all connected, a bunch of them.
And I kind of I always like this Rich Rodriguez. He didn't. What he said was something to the effect that similar to what Greg Doucette is doing, is being done with these Ambrosia products. Something that he's scamming them in some form or not some form or another.
Well,
and now you got it's all these big YouTube influencers. I don't know. You don't know who to trust anymore these days.
I do. That's why I keep my circle small.
Yeah.
And like anything, my supplements, like I only get a few different vendors and stuff, and I work for Whole Foods, and so I already know any supplement that makes it to those shelves has been through so many checks and balances and stuff. So I get a lot of stuff there at cost, and then I do Dave Palumbo supplements, BC Nutrition, and a couple other various things I'll buy out there, But you got to be selective about your supplements.
Well, yeah, you got to remember also they're supplements.
Yeah.
They supplement things. It doesn't replace hard training, and it doesn't replace good eating. It supplements it.
Yeah, it's just like PEDs, man. It's a supplement to your whole lifestyle and what you're doing.
Yeah, people look to them as the savior. This is what's gonna do it for me. No, it's first hard work, good rest, proper nutrition, and then when all those things are in place, the supplements just enhance what.
You know, there's this guy online. I'll leave his name out of it just because I'm better than that. But I think you might be friends with him. But this guy, he like idolizes all the greatest bodybuilders that ever were. And they're all on PEDs. But then like he'll make all these other posts about like talking shit about it and talking shit about them. You know, it's like he makes one post idolizing them, then he makes another post talking shit about they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the PEDs, you know, and he'll show like a picture of them from their fucking teens, you know, and then a picture of them when they're like 40, fully developed on PEDs, and like saying he wouldn't have got here, you know, if it wasn't for that. It's just like, shut the fuck up, man. You know, people like people have never done anything like that. They think it's magical and like it's gonna fucking just overnight you're just gonna fucking grow, and it just pisses me off, the ignorance in people, especially you know, nothing against the natty crowd because I once was, but like there's just so much pride in it that's just unnecessary. And I just want to say, like, who gives a shit if someone does fucking PEDs? You know, who cares?
Well, no, let me tell you something. You could do exactly what Ronnie Coleman did. You can train just like him.
Yeah.
You can eat just like him. You can talk to him personally, and he can personally give you his cycle, and you can do exactly what he was doing. That doesn't mean you're going to end up looking like Ronnie Coleman.
No, not at all.
The,
You know,
the,
they're just
it's with any. You can. Let me tell you something. You can practice basketball all you want, 24 hours a fucking day, and you're not going to be another Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and so and then you got the crowd of people who do use PEDs who abuse it because they think the more they take, the more they're gonna grow and the bigger they're gonna get, and they're gonna fucking be remembered forever. But it's like, nah. I think if you have any sort of potential, you're gonna know right away. Like when you're natural, you're gonna know only when you take a little bit of PEDs, like how it should be done. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. That's how bodybuilding works. If you don't have the genetics, you don't fucking have it. So accept that and just be the best you can be without fucking up your health.
Everyone that's all the pros, they're genetically inclined towards bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Some of them, some of them, their genetics are better than the others, but they're all genetically inclined for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. A kid sees in a magazine, or now he sees it on YouTube. This bodybuilder, he gets fascinated. He wants to be a bodybuilder. What is it? What do they do to become a bodybuilder? Oh, take steroids and go to the gym. So the first thing they do is load up on their gear and they start going to the gym, and they think that that's what it's all about, and they forget about everything else. It's just like you said, it's a supplement.
Yeah, I trained for 27 years naturally until I touched anything.
I mean, it's you have to do everything. You have to do everything else right first, and then you use a supplement. And even with supplements, you're only going to go so far depending on your genetics, and that's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to wrap it. What is your final thought with this Greg Doucette thing?
Well,
Is it going to hurt him or not?
Final thought is I wish he would own it. He still has time to do that to redeem himself, but hey, he's just another guy out there doing the same thing others do to scam people in the supplement industry if he doesn't own it. And shame on you, you know.
Now something that hits closer to home for you. When I brought up about the Brazil show, the controversy over there with the weigh-in, you're compete. See if you were good. Well, you're amateur, so if you weren't competing in the classic physique, there's still a weight to make, but the variance from one height from this height to that height in weight is very small. What's your thoughts on this now? Are you worried that some of these guys might be getting through and the height and the weight doesn't match what it's supposed to be for the height? Is that a worry for you?
I'm not worried because I'm going to be that good.
All right, that's the kind of answer I like to hear.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what?
I'm big for my category, man. I'm big. Yeah, everyone thinks I'm a fucking bodybuilder. So if I squeeze into this class and I pose real well and I peak right, it's just a matter of someone having better genetics.
That's what I say. You don't worry about what the next guy is doing. Don't worry about what your competitor is doing. Your concern is to be the best that you can be. If you do your homework, you do your job right, you bring in your best package. Wherever the chips fall, they're gonna fall. So worrying about what the other guy is doing is not going to help you out anyway. It can even be a detriment, but it can weigh negatively on you.
They're all going to be worried about me, man. You'll see. When we're backstage, everyone's going to be worried. There's this guy right now. He goes to my gym. He owns a clothing company, and he talks to Center Podium, whoever the chairman of Center Podium is, and he was telling me just today at the gym. He's like, man, I really like how you haven't made any posts like regarding the Legion that you're doing. He's like, no one's gonna know that you're coming. He's like, dude, they have no idea what's coming. You know, and he's that impressed. This guy he's at bodybuilding shows all the time. That's what he does. And he's like, I'm going to be backstage just for you, man. He's like, I'm bringing special tequila before you got on stage. Like, he's not going to have some other goodies for you. But like, this guy, he's so juiced about me right now. I'm not even, show ready, but he's like 100% sure I'm going to win the fucking show right now.
Well, that was like with Dorian. After competing, he went back to England, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on. So that created, trying to think of amongst the people he was competing against, that weighed on them. I think he had him in many ways beat psychologically before they even stepped on stage.
Yeah.
You don't see him, and all of a sudden he shows up at the competition, strips down, and then that's the first look you get of him. That can throw a fucking wrench in things.
Absolutely. I've been backstage where I've done that to people.
And then that effect that it has on you psychologically in a period of time when that event takes place to when you step on stage, your body can change dramatically.
If you feel, I'm usually the guy who's helping everyone backstage. Like, I'm always helping. I share like food I bring if I have to, but one of my friends, he's much older. He was kind of a coach, mentor to me too. And he said like he would fuck with people and he'd pick like the guy he thinks is closest to him and he'd buddy up with him backstage or whatever. And then he'd fuck with him and be like, you feeling all right, man? Okay. All right. Like he'd check in with him like, and like he was concerned. and just to fuck with their head, you know, just a little bit. And I don't know if it worked or not, but it's kind of like Arnold, you know, like he would, if you get in people's heads, they're probably going to believe that they're not going to win, you know?
Yeah, and that could actually change the look of the body.
Yeah,
People don't
absolutely.
realize it creates cortisol levels can start going through the fucking roof,
Mhm.
which you get into a fucking panic, and the cortisol levels start to rise, and it can definitely have a negative impact on the way you look.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not going to the show for anything less than you're going there to win. You're not going there for second place.
Of course I'm going in the win, bro.
Well, I did a video about that about a week ago. I did
Yeah.
one previously also covering the same thing. If you go to a competition uh, for anything less than a win, you're going to lose.
Yep.
You're showing up to lose.
Yeah.
You should be showing up with the attitude that you're there to win. What the fuck are you wasting your time with your training? The dieting is not fun. The dieting is not fun at all. The sacrifices you gotta, if you want to do it right, the sacrifices that you make. What the fuck are you going through all that shit if you're not expecting to win?
Yeah. I think I remind myself I've been training for about 30 years and it's been my life, and not a fad, not because other people do it. It's something legit that I have always done. And that's what I'm going to show them on stage. I'm going to show them what I've been working on for the last 30 years.
Yeah,
So,
whether I was fighting or I was competing on stage with bodybuilding, every time I showed up for an event, I showed up with the intention and with leaving with top honors.
yeah.
I didn't go in expecting anything less. What ultimately happened, how it ultimately turned out, but I did not go in expecting anything less than leaving with top honors.
That's how
Makes a
it's
big
done.
difference. That makes a
Absolutely.
big difference. Uh, we're gonna do another show on Saturday.
I got a soccer game on Saturdays now.
Okay, soccer games on Saturday. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Uh, what other day? Uh, how does Sunday work? What's the schedule on Sunday? Excuse us, people. We're trying to work this schedule out over here. What's going
Sunday,
on?
Sunday I could do like 6 o'clock your time. I might be a little late. Maybe it's just like a day like today. Since I got to do a half-hour cardio, it really cuts things close now.
All right, we'll try to work on it. Uh,
Sorry.
Again, if you're watching this on Muscle Central, make sure you go over to Crystal's channel, Buffy the Ironslayer. Check out all his content. Make sure you subscribe over there. If you're watching this on Buffy the Ironslayer, come over to Muscle Central. Check out my content and make sure subscribe. Any last words, Chris?
If you're gonna do something, give it your all. Do it to be number one. And whether or not you win, the fact that you gave it your all, you're still number one. So I feel like everything you do is your last chance to do it because every moment comes and goes. That's it. So everything you're doing essentially is the last time you're doing it. So fucking make it the most.
Okay. Just because an influencer is telling you to buy a product doesn't necessarily mean that the product is worth buying. That's
Yeah.
my words of wisdom for tonight. Do your own research. Uh, that's all I can say. There are a lot of fly by night companies out there. Try to look for someone that's been around the block a while, true and tested, has a reputation to maintain, and just buyer beware. Chris, it's been fun.
Always.
I'll be in touch with you in a day or two. If you didn't get the recording of this, just let me know and I'll send it to you.
All right, we'll do. Thank you.
Okay, folks. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Later, guys.
All right, it's about time for me once again to get ready to do my cardio.
Yeah, I need to eat. I need to eat and cook.
Did you eat? Did you eat after your cardio or not?
I have 60 grams.